wedgie. Don't know if you saw it. Well, good evening. I am Eric Keller. And, I don't know if you can tell by my glasses, but I am big boned. Just recently reached goal weight. I'm actually in my family's food supply in case the end comes. So I told the kids start with the hindquarters. Actually, my wife has dibs on killing me, which is always a blessing. But my wife's here, and we're not here with the kids, which is kind of miraculous. So really, babe, I don't know if you know this is a date night. It's official. So get what you want on D-Wing, okay? He said he'd pay for it. The crazy thing is my parents are here, which means, woo! All the way from Southern Maryland, population just the two. But, so they're here. So actually what I was thinking was it feels more like a date night where we're teenagers because we're teenage sweethearts, which is really cool. Thank you so much. She married up. But, so what I thought was because my parents are here, we could, after the show, we could go out in the back of their, go in the back of their car and make out, just like the old times. White man's over, like, come on, baby, you know. I'm joking. Don't worry about that, Mom. We didn't have a car. We had a conversion van, which made making out so much easier. Remember those days in the van, baby? Bringing heaven down to earth. Come on. So, listen, how many married people do we have in the audience? I can't see anyway, so it's cool. Is there anyone in the audience that's, like, gonna get married, like, soon? Or, like, in the next year? Any potential? No. Okay, sorry. So any single people, we can fight each other. Okay, good. I just want to give you some real quick tidbits about marriage. These are things I've learned as a man. You can either relate to them and we can, you know, hold each other accountable and just feel like we love each other. Or you can take this and use it for good. But first thing I've learned in marriage is that she's mad at me. I've discovered she's mad at when she does sing songs about killing me under her breath. And the funny thing is, you'd say, well, wouldn't you know that she's mad at you by the lyrics? And the funny thing, she sings it under her breath and she incorporates it into worship tunes. So it took me a while, like, maybe she's irritated with me because she's seeking the Lord, but it's actually songs about cutting my head off and throwing me off a cliff and things like that. So I just learned that. The other thing is intimacy. That can be a challenge. But I've learned the one thing in our family, in our relationship, actually, that inhibits intimacy is when I crawl into bed wearing a black spandex onesie with cat ears on and go like this. What happens is she normally leaves. It just puts the fire out, right? Guys, right? I mean, it's surprising that it would do that. But, I mean, I don't understand. But then what's weird is I'm left on the bed in a black spandex onesie alone. And so I usually, like, eat a bag of chips or something to make myself feel better. Guys, other things I've learned is that actually I must have signed somewhere, like on the marriage day, I signed somewhere that we can only, I'm required to emotionally connect with my wife only when I'm at the pinnacle of exhaustion. You guys, you know that? It's all right. It's like, I want to die. And she's like, so no, really, how's your day? Seriously. Like, share with me about your feelings. And I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. Okay? She wants to connect, and I want to go home to be with the Lord. But, which is funny because actually, it causes, believe it or not, guys, it causes arguments, right? I mean, can you believe that? So what I discovered is, this is how I kind of battle that, is when the kids get home about 3:30 from school, I usually hit the hay. You know what I mean? Because I find that we argue less when we're both sleeping. You know that? We get along so well when we're both asleep. Don't we, babe? We make such a cute couple when we're out cold. So, anyway. Anyway, we just had Christmas time. Any Christmas people? Christmas people in the house. We're either really far away from Christmas or we just had it. Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, right? And yeah, one person loves the Lord. He is. So yeah. Anyway, Christmas time. it's the time where we celebrate the birth of Christ by buying each other things from Amazon, right? I mean, that's just what we do. And one of the things we do is we knock on doors and sing songs to strangers, and we call it caroling. Is that the weirdest thing in the world in our culture? I had a friend say recently, he said, you know, we take our family and we go caroling, and he meant to say at nursing homes, but he said funeral homes. And I was like, we can do this. Is there, I asked the question, is there a more receptive audience at a funeral home? So we took the kids over, we went down to where the bodies were, and we told the little ones they're just sleeping in those boxes, it's fine. And we sang this song together where he said, we would have wished you a Merry Christmas, would have wished you a Merry Christmas, would have wished you a Merry Christmas, but now you're not here. Take it, kids. Kids, you okay? Go ahead and ask them for some figgy pudding. Anyway. And the other thing I love to do at Christmas time is I love to go to the mall. Anybody mall people? No? Me either. But I like to go to the mall for the food court. I like to go to the food court. Because you know why? I make laps at the food court. Because at the Asian restaurant, they hand out that free meat. And what's crazy about it is they don't make eye contact with you, so they don't know you've been there. So I come in from different angles. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure what it is. Listen, I'm not sure what it is because sometimes they say it like this. Listen, if you can relate. They say, but it's a chicken? It's a chicken? And sometimes they say, but it's a kitten. Like, so I don't, and I'm usually like, you know what, just give me the kitten, it's fine, it's controlling the pet population. It's delicious either way, it's like, over the top. So, whew. So anyway, real quick, I've got kids, we have kids. We did it 3 times, but looks like we made it. So anyway, we have 3 boys, and listen, I'm not the most secure individual. I really have, I'm getting personal now, very vulnerable. Really not a secure individual, that's probably why I overeat. Pray for me. But kids aren't great for your self-esteem. We had one of my boys, when he was like 3 years old, he came down the stairs, and he came over to my side of the bed, and I mean, he's beautiful big brown eyes that he gets from my side of the family, and he looked at me, and catch that, she married him. So, and he looks at me, and he just looked at me, he goes, Daddy. And I said, yes, my son. We speak King James in our house. And I thought, this is going to be a Hallmark moment. And he says, Daddy, one day, I want to be a big woman, just like you. Yeah. So I went ahead and put him on timeout. But not just a woman, but a big woman. What a little blessing. And my other son came in. Remember the days when your little kids used to come in, and they're knee like up to your groin? Guys especially, remember that? Used to wear a cup when he came home? It was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, he came up, he's 3 years old, he runs into my arms, and he nestles into my neck, and he goes, Daddy, you smell like butter. And I was totally unfazed. I said, of course I do. You think I scored your mother with this body? I don't think so, baby. Mennonite Church, is it too much? I told the Lord if it was too much, just rapture me. So we don't have to connect later. Okay. So and then there was another time, my other son, Isaac, we had the hardest time potty training. I think you can probably relate. Potty training, boys especially. So we tried positive reinforcement. We tried bribery. We even bought him a video where like a creepy clown spies on kids on toilets and sings songs about Victoria's poopers. You know what I'm saying? Didn't work. Probably took a few steps backwards, actually, on that one. But I finally got like so sick and tired of it. I sat him down. I was like, Isaac, look at me. When are you going to go in the potty? Like, let's talk as men. And he looks at me and goes, dead seriously, he goes, well, I'm 14. Okay, cool, I get it. Bad news, good news kind of scenario. Bad news is we're paying for diapers longer than we thought. Good news is totally we can put off the sex talk. Right? Because who wants to do the sex talk? No parent does. Most parents, that's why they pay for cable. You with me? Here's a remote, let's talk in the morning. Set it to 7:56, Cinemax. Good luck and go, please. So anyway, we had the sex talk. Heather was like, we should have the sex talk. Which, in a marriage, when she says we, it means you. You will do that. Like, we should take out the garbage. You should do that. Okay. Or we should take it out together. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother bit. I don't have time. So anyway, I have this. Where do you start? Hey, I had trouble knowing where to start. Like, do you start this way? Hey, listen, son. You know that piece of equipment awkwardly attached to your body? That's actually used for more than just early morning lightsaber battles with your brother. And standing 17 feet away from the toilet and missing with expert precision. Right? Like, he could stand 17 feet away and hit a pinhead, but he can't hit a hole that's like 2 feet wide when he's standing on top of it. So anyway, I gave him the sex talk, right? I did. I gave him it was eloquent, it was amazing. And I looked at him and he goes, and I said, well, what are you thinking right now? What do you think? And this is exactly how it happened, pretty much, maybe. And he looked at me and he goes, he adjusts himself, he said, so listen, you mean to tell me you did this to my mother 3 times? And I looked at him and I said, oh yes, at least. It was glorious. Anyway, so we did the thing, And then, you know how we love our kids. You can tell we love our kids because we make sacrifices for our kids. You can tell I love my kids because I've taken them to Chuck E. Cheese. Can you relate to that? Has anyone been to Chuck E. Cheese and not suffering from PTSD? You with me? I usually have like this twitch in my eye when I come back. 2 things happen to Chuck E. Cheese with our kids. One is we usually have one of our kids projectile vomit when they see the Chernobyl rat mascot, right? As it approaches slowly and methodically singing happy birthday. Second thing is we usually, one of our kids or all of us come home with some kind of obscure illness. It just happens. My 6-year-old last time we were there came home with hemorrhoids. He goes, but he didn't know how to describe it. He's like, Daddy, Daddy. Like a spicy bouncy ball in my honey. I was like, listen, go see your mother. I have the bird flu. It was like Chuck E. Cheese. And then they have that like Cracker Jack security system. It's amazing. This security system. So they stamp your hand, right? One for you, one for your kid. Well, that stamp is gone in the first 3 minutes because I've used Purell 157 times. Okay, so it's great. So you're leaving, right? You're leaving, and they look at the guy, the security guard that's like 12 and texting his girlfriend. He's just like, yeah, go ahead, it's fine, whatever. I got things, I got a life. Okay, I'm at Chuck E. Cheese. So anyway, last time we were there, we just walked out, drove home, got out of the car, looked in the back, there's some kind of Asian, there's an Asian kid with me. I don't have any Asian descent, like I was like, what are you doing? I don't know. So I took him back to his parents who were they were frantic. I took him back to his parents. I said, listen, I'm really sorry about that. Apparently he's attracted to butter. Just followed me home. And she was so thankful. She brought out this like tray of meat. And she was like, I said, actually, I prefer the kitten. So, anyway, sometimes we just need, like, do you agree? Sometimes we just need Jesus to come, right? But not so much for the rapture, but just to hang out with. Like, I would love to hang out with Jesus. Wouldn't it be awesome if Jesus was your best friend, like in college? He's like your college buddy. I have some college friends here, they were like Jesus, except for John. Yeah, John had some issues. We'll talk about that later in the counseling session. But I think it would be awesome, like, think about going out to eat with Jesus. It's always endless apps. Hey, Jesus, like, we don't have any more potato skins. Yeah, I know you only do things to see your Father doing. That's cool. I see your Father making me more potato skins. That's what I see right now. And then you would do things like you wouldn't ordinarily do. Like, not everyday things. You would take some more risks. For instance, like ride side saddle on a great white shark down a killer wave. You know what I mean? Jesus, that's like the 5th time this week you've raised me from the dead. I love you. I feel so alive when we're together. Except when I'm dead in those certain times. But. And then there would be frustrating times, like when you're playing video games with Jesus, and you're just like, Jesus, would you at least hold the controller and make it look like you're trying? Gosh. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much.